A couple navigates daily life, love, and delicious home cooking in this unique manga. Is it going to be good? Let's find out as we check out this cool story by the creator of Oku the Inner Chamber. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Spiraken Manga Review. I'm your host Zan, saying konnichiwa, aloha, buongiorno, and what's up? Hope you're doing good and hope you're excited for another fun-filled episode of this awesome podcast you can find at www.spiraken.com. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and various other social media sites. Just type in SPIRAKN in your search bar and I'll guarantee you find us one way or the other. And if you're watching on YouTube, remember to like, share, subscribe, click on that bell for notification, and stay tuned for some of the coolest episodes possible. So with that in mind, let's actually get to it, because if you remember that last episode I spun, that one that only the Wheel of Manga, and it dictated the reviewing a manga, well, let's get to it, shall we? Well, the manga we're talking about is What Did You Eat Yesterday by Fumi Yoshinaga, the creator of Oku the Inner Chamber, a manga that we reviewed quite some time ago. I think it has been over, I don't know, it's been several years since we reviewed that manga, but it is one of the ones which was compelling and unique and very different. But this one is a completely different situation because this is not a period piece story. Rather, this is a contemporary slice of life cooking manga about a couple in love as they eat and enjoy cooking. And let's get to it, because we have our main character, Shiro Takai and Kenji Yabuki. This is a middle-aged gay couple living together in Tokyo, Japan. And with most couples, they are two opposites of each other. We have, first, Shiro. He is the serious, reserved lawyer. Meanwhile, Kenji is a cheerful and outgoing hairdresser. And this is the story of their relationship. And unlike a lot of other series, which hits the nail on the head on things, this is a very relaxed story as well, because this is basically domestic life and day-by-day stories of this relationship between these two. I mean, it opens up straight up where we have Shiro at work as a high-powered lawyer talking about what he ate yesterday. And he knows it completely down to the second of what he ate. He knows the exact sauce, the exact pairing. And some of his coworkers think he's kind of a snob about it. Like, he probably never cooks in his life, but he's actually a major gourmand. He loves cooking. He loves tasting it and making the best he can do. His coworkers are not exactly that thrilled by it. Like I said, there's the one who's like, wait, you ate all that? That's kind of cool. But that's crazy. His other coworkers, like, there's no way he ate that stuff. He probably ate fast food. He's never done a day of work in his life. They also speculate about his relationship, because it's kind of odd that he's a 42-year-old that is not married, even though he's in a successful, happy relationship. This is a situation where he is yet to come out, but it's one of these series where it gets to that point eventually. And as you can tell, the artwork is beautiful in this. It is that Naga style that was created in Oku the Inner Chamber and her other series. And as the series gets into it, also shows him cooking. This is primarily a cooking manga, and it gets into him finding the best deals possible, because he is someone who's very conservative with his money. The reason why is he, like certain types of homemakers, wants to run their household at a deficit, saying, we can only sell this much and use this much money, the rest is going to be taken away and kept in our savings. The lower we spend, the better it is for us. So Shiro will go out, look for the cheapest prices for the foods, and then he creates his menu of what he's going to make. And in this one, he's making something kind of cool and kind of different. What are we talking about? We are talking about a very delectable nabe. And he goes into how to make it and goes into the exact science of making this type of food. Going into, okay, first you're going to cut the cabbage in half, and then you're going to put it into the rice cooker, but only a little bit. Remember to take this seasoning out. We're going to put some of these foods in there as well. We're not going to overstuff this with pork, just a little bit to change the flavor. Then we're going to add some shiitake mushrooms. He creates a meal which is engaging, intriguing, and more importantly, delectable sounding. Unlike other cooking manga, this one does not cover the exact recipe. It doesn't tell you the exact way to make it. He knows how to do it, and he experiments on his own on how to make the food. So you assume that he knows it, and then you just wonder how it's made. And I gotta admit, the scenes of him cooking are unique and amazing. An earlier manga we talked about, She Loves to Eat and She Loves to Cook, is similar to this, where it has someone who cooks and someone who eats. But this one, the cooking style looks a lot better, looks more realistic, and more importantly, it has a better feel to it, to be honest with you. It feels more natural as opposed to how She Loves to Cook, She Loves to Eat. This one flows better, but again, this is in the wheelhouse of Fumi Yoshinaga. And after making the food and making it all delectable and wonderful, eventually Kenji comes home. And Kenji, like I said, is a cheerful, outgoing, and spendthrift hairdresser who, when he comes home, even though there's a huge delectable meal that Shiro made for him, Kenji pretty much is like, I went to the store and I bought a really expensive ice cream because it's the new flavor. And he's like, wait, you could have bought the entire box for half the price at the supermarket by the gas station. Why did you spend so much at the 7-Eleven? It's like, it's a new flavor. I'm sorry. So they essentially have an argument, and eventually they do start cooking and talking about things. And this is just their day. It is what it is, and it is a exceptionally done story that is very compelling. And it gets further into their relationship, and also even throws in the fact that their parents are very different. We have Shiro's mom, who is kind of becoming a cheerleader for her gay son, but what she's doing is she's kind of going about it the wrong way, like going to all the weird Reddit threads and watching the really controversial movies that are like kind of insulting. Think about like Big Bang Theory. Big Bang Theory supposedly is made for geeks, but it's how non-geeks see geeks. And certain geeks find that show infuriating. This is kind of the same thing, where she's watching shows about gays that she finds fascinating and is getting wrong information. Meanwhile, Shiro is kind of infuriated by this situation. On the other hand, Kenji's parents pretty much are like, yeah, you're gay, get the fuck out. And that's what it is. And these are the way it goes. Also, something kind of fun, later on in the collected works of the Tankobon, they do actually give you the recipes for each dish prepared at the end of the chapter, which is good. But overall, this is their happy life and how the ups and downs of their life. It's more of a comedy, a drama, and it ends actually where they end up at 50 years old. So it's 10 years of their relationship. It's currently 21 volumes. And yeah, that's what this story is about. And, well, I'm going to be kind of honest. It is a work that is, at first I was like, okay, it's about a couple. I'm not really interested in reading about it, the daily lives of it. But as we read more into it, it is compelling to read their relationship as they grow together. And it's just them living life. And their relationship isn't thrown into our faces. It's just they're a couple, they're in love. That's what it is. And it's a more sweet romance. As a cooking manga, it is well done. It goes into the elements of it. And when you're reading the manga, it doesn't give you the actual recipes. But like I said, on further inspection, you go to the back, it does show you the titles itself. And I actually got this in the Humble Bundle I talked about way earlier in the year. So I have all 16 volumes out right now. And the series does, at first you're like, okay, this seems weird. But then you're on volume 9 after what seems like 10 minutes, but it's been 3 hours. So it does have great speed to it. Now, it is a slice of life. So one, if you're not a fan of slice of life, you're not going to like this. 2, it is an LGBT manga. So if you like LGBT or you are someone who's a ally, you will find this a great and wonderful addition to it. If you are not a fan of that, well, this is not going to be for you. And like I said, everyone has the right to their opinion on what they like and what they don't like. So this might not be up your alley. It might be up your alley. But it's worth checking out at least, especially if you're a cooking fan. That's what makes it worth it. But for me personally, I have to give this one, and I'm surprised I'm giving it this, but I'm going to give this a borrow from a friend and don't return unless offered Pocky, because it is really good. It's just, surprisingly, it just creeps up on you how good it is. It really does creep up on how exceptional it is, because at first it's like, oh, this is okay. But then you're like, oh my God, I'm actually invested in Shiro and Kenji's relationship and their life. And it's so simple. And it's not even very affectionate. There's no PDA. It's just, it is what it is. It's just the daily life. And if you're in a long-term relationship, you know it's not always hot and sexy and wonderful. Sometimes it's just, okay, we're just going to sit here, eat in pajamas, relaxing, watching TV, or making food together, or going on a trip, or going to split pineapples, or watermelon. That's what this manga is about. So it is what it is. Greta really likes this one. She thought it was well done. She actually wanted to watch a live action adaptation, and which really does a good job with it. So I guess they're doing something right? So if you agree or disagree with me, email me zanspiraken.com or tweet me at Spiraken and let me know your thoughts. And let's get to the random question of the day, which is going to be very simple. Do you like this type of slice of life story where it's just, there's no real consequences, just a day in the life of the person? I'm becoming more into it as I'm getting older. I love action, I love drama, I love comedy, but this one just kind of, it's a nice, sweet little thing. Let me know your thoughts. Email me at zanspiraken.com or tweet me at Spiraken. And with that in mind, let's actually get to the manga releases for the week, shall we? This is a long week, and we got a lot of really fun ones. So let's start off at the top with Oshi no Ko, Volume 7. Yes, finally we're getting more about what is going on and why the reincarnation happened. Also, we're getting closer to the reveal that who is Aqua and Ruby's father. What's going to happen? We'll have to wait and see. Then we got Business Proposal 6. A Reincarnated Witch Spells Doom, Volume 5. ILS Sometimes Hides Her Feelings in Russian, the light novel, Volume 5. This one is a long title, so forgive me if I do not get it completely right, but it's Apparently Disillusioned Adventures Will Save the World, Volume 6. The Beginning After the End, Volume 6, the comic. Black Knight Parade, Volume 4. Blade and Bastard Wireframe Dungeon Dragon with Red Dead, Volume 2. Bocchi the Rock, Volume 4. Breasts Are My Favorite Thing in the World. And that's going to be Volume 8. Bungo Stray Dog, Volume 24 of the manga, and then Bungo Stray Dog Dazai Chuya, Age 15, Volume 2. Then we have Cat on the Hero's Lap, Volume 3. We're getting a new cat involved in this manga. Then Cheeky Brat number 11. Tokyo Babylon. Clamp Tokyo Babylon, Volume 4. The Dark History of the Reincarnated Villainess Short Story Collection. Daughters of the Emperor, Volume 8. Do You Like Big Girls? The Thick Edition, which is Omnibus 1 to 2. Don't Call It Mystery, Omnibus 9 to 10. The Do-Over Damsel Conquers the Dragon Emperor, Volume 4 of the manga. The Ephemeral Scenes of Setsuna's Journey, Volume 4. This is a light novel, the former 68th hero and his peculiar quests. Fangirl, Volume 4. This is the manga adaptation of the famous novel by Rainbow Rowell. Free Life Fantasy Immortal Princess Online, novel number 7. Friday at the Atelier, Sakurai Hamada. It's Volume 2. Gahi-chan, Volume 3. Glitch, Volume 4. The Hichioji Specialty Tengu's Love, Volume 1. Handyman Saito in Another World, Volume 5, and this is the manga, not the light novel. Hate Me But Let Me Stay, Volume 1. Hell is Dark with No Flowers, Volume 1. Hell Mode. The Hardcore Gamer Dominates in Another World with Garbage Balancing, Volume 5. The Hero Laughs While Walking the Path of Vengeance a Second Time, Volume 7. This is going to be the light novel. High School DxD, Volume 14, light novel. Higurashi When They Cry Maguri, Volume 3. Harayasumi, Volume 2. Horror Collector, Volume 4. How to Not Summon a Demon Lord, Volume 19. The Husky and His White Cat Shizune, Volume 6. I Got a Cheat Skill in Another World, Became Unrivaled in the Real World, 2, Volumes 5. I Kept Pressing the 100 Million Year Button and Came Out on Top, Volume 6. Another manga of it. I Kept Pressing the 100 Million Year Button and Came Out on Top, The Unbeatable Reject Swordsman, Volume 8. That's the light novel. I Want to Do Bad Things with You, Volume 1. The Illustrated Guide to Monster Girls, Volume 4. I'm the evil overlord of an intergalactic... Gesundheit, excuse me. Of an intergalactic overlord, Volume 7, the light novel. In Another World, My Sister Stole My Name, Volume 1. Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, Volume 19. J.K. Haru is a Sex Worker in Another World, Volume 7, the manga. Jujutsu Kaisen, Volume 23. The King's Proposal, Volume 5. Let the Grieving Soul Retire, Volume 8. The Magical Girl and the Evil Lieutenant Used to Be Arch Enemies, Volume number... Well, this is just a manga. It's just one shot. I thought it was a volume. Oh, I'm wrong. Anyway, Magical Girl Raising Project, Volume 18. Magie Lumiere, Magical Girl Incorporated, Volume 3. Maiden of the Needle, Volume 4. The Misfits of Demon King Academy, Volume 4, Act 1. Mission Yozakura Family, Volume 12. Morning, Monthly in the Garden with My Landlord, Volume 3. Musoko Tensei Jobless Reincarnation, A Journey of Two Lifetimes, the Special Edition novel. My First Love's Kiss, Volume 1. My Girlfriend's Child, Volume 5. My Happy Marriage, Volume 7, and this is going to be the light novel. My Instant Death Ability is so overpowered, no one in this other world has a chance against me, Volume 5 of the light novel. My Youthful Romantic Comedy is Wrong as I Expected, Volume 22. Orb of the Movement of the Earth, Volumes 5 to 6. The Perks of Being an S-Class Heroine, Volume 2. Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus. I know, officially Rascal has gone too far at this point, and I know people have been asking me to review the Rascal series. I just think it's a little bit long to get into it, but I will put it on the wheel eventually. ReZero Starting Life in Another World, the Short Story Collection 1. Rejected by the Hero's Party, Volume 1. Revenge, Miss Wrong, Volume 3. Riviera in the Land of Prayer, Volume 1. Riviera in the Land of Prayer, the light novel, Volume 2. Sabiki Bisco, Volume 8 of the light novel. Sentenced to be a Hero, Volume 3. She Likes Gays But Not Me, Volume 2. So What's Wrong with Being Reborn as a Goblin, Volume 6. Solo Leveling, Volume 9 finally coming out. We've been waiting for this one for a while. The Star Seekers, Volume 4. Strategic Lovers, Volume 1. The Summer Hikaru Died, Volume 4. Sword Art Online, Alternative Clover's Regret, Volume 1. The Tiger Won't Eat the Dragon Yet, Volume 2. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Volume 19. Tied to You, Volume 2. Too Many Losing Heroines, Volume 1. Triage X, Volume 27. Unholy Blood, Volume 3. The Villain Turns the Hourglass, Volume 4. Way of the House Husband, Volume 12. What's Wrong with Secretary Kim, Volume 5. Witch Room in a Micro Room, Volume 3. The World After the Fall, Volume 7. World's Finest Assassin, Volume 6. Your Forma, Volume 6. And then last and certainly not least for this week, we have Zom 100, Bucket List of the Dead, Volume 15. Finally, Akira and someone else may get together. What's going to happen? You're going to have to wait and find out. So these are the manga releases for the week. We've got some very dark stories. We've got some great stories, some which are kind of pervy, some with lots of fan service, none fan service, 3 that we waited for a while, and tons of other ones. Which are the ones you're most excited about? Let me know. Email me, zanspiraken.com, or tweet me at Spiraken. For me personally, my top 5 for this week are going to be the Hachioji Speciality, Tengu's Love, a romance involving Tengu. Should be kind of cool, a little different. Hate Me But Let Me Stay, Volume 1, looks to be weird and funny. I Want to Do Bad Things With You. It's an ecchi, let's be honest, but it could be kind of cool. The ReZero Starting Life in Another World Short Story Collection 1. I'm a fan of ReZero. I'm a Rem fanboy, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully someone will figure out that Rem is best girl, but we'll see. And last but not least, Zom 100, Bucket List of the Dead. We've been following them so far. I think this is leading up to the space arc where they're going to actually shoot themselves into space and find out how the zombie apocalypse happened. We're going to have to wait and see on that, but let me know which ones you're most excited about. Email me, zanspiraken.com, or tweet me at Spiraken. And now, with that in mind, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for checking out this podcast. Every email I get, every comment I get gives me more motivation to keep doing this podcast, and I love doing this. I want to keep doing this to an old man who's old and gray with thick glasses, and more importantly, has to read manga that's in very large print or watching it zoomed up on my computer screen. So thank you so much. I am going to be releasing some more really fun content coming out soon. I got an email from someone who actually asked me a question that was kind of fascinating about how manga has changed in the last, let's be honest, 30 years, and how innovation is kind of degraded based on the manga topics I chose. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be doing a special manga discussion. I'm going to see who's going to be interested in it. Right now, my goal is going to be hopefully September probably 8th, 9th, 10th. Actually, no, I have a wedding that weekend. Probably September 14th, I'm going to be doing it. We're going to have a discussion on the best parts and worst parts of what's happened in the last couple of years and how things have changed and why do we think the manga genre has changed so much. And it hasn't gotten worse. It's just things have changed. Also, the pandemic was a very large part of that. I actually originally released this as a comment to the individual. However, it ended up a 3-page thesis. And as I went further into my notes, it became very intriguing and sounds like a fun discussion. So stay tuned for that. Also, Wedded Bliss is being edited. Greta and I recorded it. We're going to release it. It's going to be kind of fun once I release that panel. And also, I'm going to be releasing one of my infamous Spiraken Convention Survival Tip episodes, one that we've been waiting for a while. So that's coming out soon. But anyway, no more of this blabbing and babbling. Let's get to the part that you have all been waiting for, the most popular part of this podcast. And what are we talking about? We are talking about that one, that only, the Wheel of Manga! Yes, friends, the Wheel of Manga. Sometimes you know what is the Wheel of Manga? The Wheel of Manga is the Wheel of Fortune with 10 slots on it. What we're going to do is we're going to spin the wheel. Whatever number it lands on, the manga that's in that spot is what I'm going to review in the next episode of the Spiraken Manga Review, episode 571. And we've got some great titles on here. We've got a lot of action on here. We've got a lot of adventure on here. And we've even got one which is just kind of insane. So let's spin so we're going to review the next episode, shall we? The newest series by the creator of Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon? We're talking about Wisteria, Wand, and Sword. The story of a warrior in a world of magicians. Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? We're going to find out. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this episode. As usual, I'm your host, Zan. I'm Gonzville. Catch you guys next time. Keep reading manga and like, share, and subscribe. See you later.